Hey, dear ones. Today I wanted to talk about the higher self. Um, First of all, a part of yourself is never authoritative. If it is really a part of yourself, it is you with you. Why would there be any pressure or anything like that needed? It's you with you. And all parts of you, may it be a darker aspect of your being or a wiser aspect of your being, they all belong to you. Why would they try to play an authoritative role to convince you, force you on your path? That's not making any sense, really. And I can tell you how I came across this topic, give you a little background about that. A few days ago, by coincidence, I came across two spiritual teachers who I know who are both under mind control. I have spoken about that topic before. And both were coincidentally mentioning the higher self. And both were mentioning the higher self as if it would be a kind of authority in your life, that it's the part of you that has authority over your life or that knows your path and tells you what is your path. Okay. That instantly reminded me of a personal session I had last year with the guy I talked about before also. And in that session, he suddenly tried to tell me I'm not quite on my path. I have to go back on my path. And back then I was thinking, what? And I didn't ask him about that at all. And then he said, yeah, he now has to come across as a little bit fatherly, authority figure. And I just realized that he tried to mimic this fake higher self that is coming across authoritative. And he, in that session, tried to be my handler. Because the reason why I am able to see what is going on with all of those spiritual teachers and why I published this book last year, because I saw that this was not just small incidents, but that there was a plan and a pattern behind it. Because I was part of that plan. I received this trauma-based mind control in my childhood, and because that's how they prepare you for your role later in life. And but it didn't work quite the way they wanted to. And I broke out of that, and yeah. So I know what is happening. I'm able to see that. If you have experienced this yourself, of course you see what is going on. It's that's quite normal. If you have made an experience yourself, you know this, it's how life is working and why we are actually making experiences. We are not making experiences because we deserve punishment or anything like that. Also spoke about that before. That's all new agey bullshit. And that is all stuff also to make sure people are staying in their lane, and to make to handle people also, that if something negative happened in your life, that you somehow deserved it or anything like that. That is all manipulative stuff. So, okay, I had a communication with my friend Nina from the channel Love Always Wins. Please check her out, about those coincidences of those two teachers that were both talking about an authoritative higher self that is not making any sense, and how this reminded me of this guy who tried to yeah, fix my programming, play the handler, and yeah, and was in this way just exposing himself more than he already had before. And I then shared an experience with this friend, and that is a story I would like to share with you that shows how dangerous the acceptance of such an authority inside of you can be. You have to understand that no one can harm you unless they convince you of their story. No authority is actually having authority unless you accept it. Okay. And that story that I was sharing with my friend was actually me breaking out of my program somehow. When I was in this Sisterhood of the Roses, that is a pure false light, and it's overtaken since eons. And it's Kathy O'Brien is exposing this order as a high level New World Order stuff. And yeah, she's right, of course. As I said, there's a plan behind putting all of those fake spiritual teachers and healers in place. Okay. And when I was in this order and I started to ask uncomfortable questions, and I realized, okay, there are abusive structures at place, and people are not quite who they pretend to be. They realized, okay, they have an issue there because they have someone in their circle who is, yeah, seeing through the whole BS. And they then told me that nobody can leave that sisterhood. And I said, yeah, okay. Yeah, and they wanted to get rid of me anyways. And so I was invited for a healing meditation, a group meditation, long distance, because yeah, that stuff is working. But everybody who can heal can also kill. But in both cases, they need the person to agree, because every healing is actually the activation of self-healing. And also, if people harm you, they attack you, they can only do that because you hand over your power to them. Okay. So they invited me into this um, healing meditation circle, and it was a trap, because I would, of course, open my own energy field. And then I had a very, very strange experience, where I was, in a very blissful way there, killing with kindness, been pulled out of my body, and my higher self told me I have to die. And I was shown the option to have a new body. I could see the energy body of my potential mother and father coming together to make a baby. And I was shown, yeah, I would have a very, very loving childhood, because they know your wounds. And if they can't buy you and they can't scare you, they will then try to, offer you something, a dream of you. If you had a quite horrible childhood, they will then try to offer you a very beautiful childhood. And I have to say, there was a really strong pull towards this new incarnation. But yeah, and this higher self told me I have to choose, if I want to stay in my old body, because I have to die if I stay in my old body, or if I am actually choosing a new incarnation. And but that would be a way, way, way more difficult path. Okay. So you had this authoritative higher self telling me I have to die. And I ended the meditation. I came back into my body, and stupid as I was back then, I went to my mobile and sent a message to, the person who was leading this Circle of the Roses. She was not the one who did offer the meditation. She was the one who was leading this circle. And I messaged her and told her, my higher self told me I have to die. You know what her answer was? Yay, it's working. Yeah, distant assassination. And as my friend Nina, when I shared this experience with her, and she said, yeah, and your higher self was a trap too. It's not just been the whole setup, and it's not just been this long distant healing session that was me opening up my field. That was a trap, the higher self coming in and giving me this option. That was a trap too, to send me into a reincarnation loop, because I would go through mind wipe or anything like that, or at least I would be out of the way for the now very, very important time, because I would still be a child now. And so it was a trap. And I didn't die. I have kind of, yeah, somehow I did. I went, Nina said, yeah, that's been ego death you went through, because actually I was going through a process where I was losing all kinds of attachment and all kinds of stuff. That was really strange. It was a strange experience. So even out of very unpleasant experiences, there can come out of it something very beautiful. And so the reason why I share this is not to scare you in any way, just the opposite. It's making you aware you are the ultimate authority. And if there is a voice in your head talking to you in an authoritative way, that's a program. That is not a part of yourself. You with you, that is always very respectful and loving. That's it. There is no you have to. And as I said, they need us to cooperate. They have to convince us. If they can convince us we have to die, we die. If they tell us they heal us, we heal. But it is us. And that is what I try with all that I share. All of my sharings are about us coming home to ourselves and realizing we don't need these outer authority figures. We have everything we need. And it's about letting go of all of those layers and that have been put onto our real being. And there is no part of you and that has more authority, because it's all you. And there is also on the outside, there is nobody who has authority over you. There are people who can share their perspective, and if this resonates with you, you take it, because it is actually you. It is resonating with you. If it is not resonating with you, don't do it. It's as simple as that, because then whatever they share is not for you. And it's not because someone is famous, successful, has a big name or whatever, that they know better than you. It's not true. There is no authority figure on the outside or an authoritative voice in your head that has any power over you unless you hand it over. And please don't do that. It's a trap. It's always a trap. And of course, the result may not always be life-threatening, like in my case, yeah. But yeah, don't walk a path that is not yours, and don't do stuff that is not resonating with you just because some authoritative figure tells you. And yeah, the inner knowing, it's just a knowing, and it's very respectful, it's loving, and it doesn't have to convince you, because it's you with you. So don't accept any higher self telling you something, especially not if it is really, really dangerous. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and please take good care. Bye.